If you feel like you're doing so many things right and you're just not generating the type of clientele that you're looking for, or maybe you're just starting and you don't want to have that issue, this is the podcast for you. Come listen.
Welcome to the Behind Her Brand podcast with your host, Kimberly Spencer. Every week, join Kimberly and her guest for inspiring interviews with passionate business builders, corporate leaders, and catalysts of change. Plus, we will be sharing business and career building strategies and tools that you can use to grow. So let's dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Behind Her Brand podcast. I am your host, Kimberly DeShields-Spencer. And so today we are going to just dive right on in here. Here's a question I got the other day, and it was such a great question that I felt like I wanted to do a podcast around it, because this is a question you may ask if you're first starting, or sometimes when you've been in business for some time. You may hit a pocket where you feel like, why am I not generating any new business? Am I doing something wrong? Especially when you've been doing things so well and you've been having an influx of new clientele, and all of a sudden it paused. Or on the other side of that, maybe you're just starting a new line of your business or a new program and you feel like, okay, I'm just not generating anything. You know, it's very overwhelming trying to decide what to do and when. I totally get it. I have been there. And I can tell you that for me, many years ago, I found myself spinning my wheels and not going anywhere at all. I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to do. I was trying all these new creative measures. And the truth of it is, I needed to just pause. I needed to really understand what my market needed from me and how they needed it. And that's a big thing. If you're in a market and you find that someone who does something very similar to what you're doing is having absolutely amazing success, obviously congratulate them, be proud for them. But what they're offering in terms of solutions to your audience may not be the very thing that you can offer. And that's really key. So here's the thing. If you choose the wrong marketing strategies or even tactics, you're going to be pouring money down the toilet. You are, because you have to really determine what fits you, your voice, and your way of doing things. Okay. So I wanted to compile a list of reasons that typically may block or hinder you from really developing your business, or can deter potential clients from working with you. And the reason why I wanted to compile this list is sometimes we don't really think through, like, what is exactly am I doing that I could be doing differently, or maybe I could be doing a little bit better, or maybe I need to go back and do this one thing that really has been working, because it's so easy to get distracted, to get off course, even when you're doing all the right things, because there's so many new technology, systems, processes, information, books, you name it. There's constantly new information being pumped out that oftentimes we can even be our own worst enemies in trying to dive in and try to get all the information that we can. So I wanted to go through this list because if you find yourself in it, then you know what's broken and you know what you can fix, right? And that is a must before you can build a really thriving and sustainable business. Okay. So here's the first thing: an unclear or wrong target market. This is the first one, will always be the first one. It is like the main one, because here's the thing. If you're not clear who your market is and you're just kind of doing a spray method, you will find yourself frustrated every single day. You got to be very clear on the market. And more importantly, you got to be clear that your market needs what you're offering. Second, maybe you have a wrong or unclear message. That is key. If you're saying something but not saying something, if that makes sense, then you need to pause and look at what exactly are you communicating and what exactly will be received. Okay. Not stating clear benefits and features. People like to know what it is that you offer. They don't want to have to go hunt. If they have to go hunt too long, they are going to leave. A confused buyer will never buy or move forward. So be very clear. Here are the solutions that I offer. Here are the benefits of that solution, and here are the different features that are attached to it. Be clear. Make sure there's no ambiguity. Low believability. Now, this one we're going to dive in a little bit more later, but if people don't really believe that you're the solution, they're not going to move forward. And you'll be asking, well, how am I supposed to get them to believe me? That comes in how you present yourself. It comes in how you present your information. It comes in what you're sharing. Are you sharing really great content that someone can look at and review and feel like, man, this tidbit right here helped so much, even before they sign up for anything, even before they even contact you oftentimes. Like, what are you putting out there that's helpful? What are you putting out there that matches your expertise? What are you putting out that really shows them here are the solutions that you're offering? People need to believe that you are an answer to something that they need before they'll reach out to you. Now, here's a word I know gets played very often in all type of settings, but not being authentic is so key. You and I have, I'm sure, um, gone to get a car, and you have that salesman that you're like, oh my God, you can almost feel it's going to be like a sleazy kind of situation. And then you have some that may walk up to you and you can tell they're very genuine. They care. They're not trying to quickly get a sale. They don't see a price tag on your face when you walk in. You can tell the difference. If people go to your entry point, which may be your blog, your website, social media, whatever it might be in terms of how they are introduced to you, if it doesn't make them feel something like, man, I can really tell they really care about me, their potential customer. If it doesn't feel that way, if it doesn't feel real, it can literally shut people off from looking at your information. Here's another one: copying others versus using your own unique stamp on your business. Now, this is prevalent. Often when we see someone's success, it's more important, in my opinion, to be like, hey, that's awesome, that's great, you're doing great things, and keep it moving, right? But if you find yourself saying, well, maybe if I use their exact this, and I say exact because copying is just that, and I'm going to tweak it just a little bit to make it my own, it's still not your original idea. Okay. Now I know there's a saying, there's nothing new underneath the sun. I get it. I understand it. And I believe that. However, find ways to put your unique stamp on your business. You may see someone offering the same solution that you offer. Don't take a portion of their stuff. Find a way to make your solution your own. Because when it's your own voice, it's your own way of doing things, and people are going to get to know you in this space and how you offer a solution. I'll give another example on this one. Obviously, I do marketing and branding. There are a cajillion people that do what I do. Okay. And there are some absolutely fabulous people that are just doing great in this space. And we may all talk about the same thing. However, I choose to put a unique stamp on what I do will make me stand out to the people that I'm meant to serve. In the same way, there's coaches I know that do things totally different. I'm sorry, totally different than what I do, but we offer the exact same information, but in different deliveries, different methods, and in different experiences. So find your stamp, okay? Building your business on the wrong value system. Okay. Now this one is more of a personal thing, okay? So often when we're building our business, you got to really be clear on the foundation of what you are building. I've had people walk in the door and say, look, I need to make some money. And that's their only thing that they're trying to do. And one thing I share with them, if your only motivation is monetary, it will show up in how you present. It goes back to being real. It goes back to being believable. It goes back into how you're presenting. People will feel that. So really think about, what is it that you value? Do you value your family? Do you value your time, your peace of mind? Do you value having a creative space? Whatever it is that you value, you'll find when you're clear on your value system, you build upon that and you'll build differently. Okay, here's a couple of more. Focus too much on making a sale versus generating a lasting customer. Guys, I can't be more firm on this one. If someone feels like they're a transaction, they're not going to stay around. They're just not. It's important that people don't feel that it is a transactional relationship versus it being a hopefully long-standing client. Okay. You want to create that relationship. And that is so, so key, because I don't know about you, but I can tell when someone's just focused on sale. They are posting rapid fire, a million different things, all these new programs, hurry up and sign up. You don't want to be late, all these different kind of things. And the next week they have a new thing going on. And it just feels like they're just trying to get me as their customer, but not as a real long lasting client. And that's key. All right. Here's the thing. No long-term strategy in place is another area. And I'm not going to dive into that one too much, but obviously this can hurt you if you don't have a plan and a process in place for what you want to do with your clients. One of the things I do in our program, I'll tell you guys, is I believe wholeheartedly in that you should always create a client development plan internally. Your client may not always see this. Depending on the relationship, you may show it, or on the back end, you may say, you know what, this is how I want to be able to grow this client in the spaces that they're looking for. Whatever it might be, create ways for them to grow with you, okay? And to grow, period, in what it is they're signing up for you. And then let's talk about the last one, okay? A lack of diversity of services and products. This is key. This goes back to even being believable. It goes back into making sure that people feel like you're real. If you are in business, you need to constantly be developing yourself. You do, okay? Because you'll be able to create more offerings, more services, more programs, more products, because you're going to be growing with your audience. You're growing your own expertise. You're growing your own solutions. But if you are offering the same thing all the time, every single time, there's no room for growth with your client and you. And more importantly, they're going to see you being stale. They're going to see, well, okay, they're offering this, but didn't they offer that like 10 years ago or even 4 years ago? And isn't this right here the new thing that's being introduced? It's very important that you don't stay stuck in offering the same things in the same way all the time. You want people to feel like, man, they're staying on the cutting edge, or man, they really seem like they already kind of caught on to this and they're really creating a new way for me to use this or participate in that. Whatever it might be, creating different ways, different avenues for them to stay connected to you is key. When you work on some of these different things that I share with you, you'll find that you will be able to create a more sustainable interest pool of people that might want to work with you. If your message is clear, if your offerings are creative and they're fresh, if they believe you, they're like, man, every time they post something or I read something, I just feel like, yeah, they understand me. Like all these different things will cause someone to self-select you. Okay. You don't have to go out there and say, hey, do you want to work with me? Hey. They will say, you know what? I want to work with them. They're going to self-select and make their decision to contact you. So go back through the list that I shared with you whenever you have a moment and ask yourself if you fall into any of these categories. Or if you're just starting your business, or maybe you're working a full-time job and you're like, okay, I kind of want to start building over here. Go through some of the things that I mentioned. And this is a great way for you to say, you know what? I don't want to create a wrong message. Let me get my messaging clear. I want to be believable. Let me think about the things that I can create and produce that will make me believable. I don't want to be like a one-trick pony. So let me figure out the different services I can offer now. Like it's a great way for you to look at how you can build differently. So it works on both sides. Okay. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions or anything, please reach out and let us know. Our goal with Behind the Brand is to make sure that you're growing and develop a strong brand, obviously. And we also want you to be inspired by the different women that we're showcasing in our magazine, our podcast, and our YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked out any of those things, I'm not sure what you're waiting on, but join us over at Behind Her Brand, www.behindherbrand.net, and learn more about what we're doing. So thank you for joining us today.